probably available in their houses, which will reduce their malnutrition issues.
You rightly said, of course, you can't have a liter of milk or 2 liters of that. But yes, everybody has milk for a cup of tea. So for a child, I have done it myself and I have seen the results. Half a cup milk, half cup water, 2 handful of what, I don't know what you call, what you make bhel with here, murmura, crush it, mix into that 1 teaspoon of oil or ghee, but not sarson ka tel, kadwa tel nahi, and sugar. And if that is fed to a child and heat it, maybe make it like a halwa type something. It can be semi-solid. It can be a little liquid to be fed with. And if you feed it to a child after 6 months of age, because up to 6 months, mother's milk is sufficient. 5 times a day, I can guarantee 700 to 1 kilogram weight gain in a month. Provided, yeah, you're right, that it's a WHO F75 formula. And this is what has done wonders in 166 villages, provided we took care of the sanitation. Our village volunteers and the outreach workers ensure with a nail cutter in their bag that they don't tell them cut the nails, they reach the house, start cutting the nails.
I just wanted to ask one thing, that I have the data, every 3 minutes 2 kids died because of malnutrition. Okay, and then my NGO, Green Charitable Trust, I have started the project. Every NGO are focusing on cure. I am focusing on prevention. We are filing a case in the High Court against the drug oxybenzone. This is a drug, deadly drug, which is in all the media. Times of India, NDTV, Midday, I think Chicago, and even UK University. They have covered. I have the letter from the Health Minister Harshvardhan Patil to ban this drug. This person is making 5 crores rupees a daily business. The drug is being sold at 80 paise, and he's earning 5 crores rupees. Maneka Gandhi personally met us and told us to work for it. I have started, I just started sending it to every meal. Now we do malnutrition. We take the milk to the kids that they will be nourished. The milk is killing the kid. Okay, we make the soil, inject the soil to give the product food fast. The soil is becoming infertile. Let the soil become infertile, give it to the NM plots, let the builder up. We are losing soil, we are losing milk, we are losing animals. Okay, we are losing the economy. 3 lakh women, just 3 lakh women after the Al Kabir slaughterhouse have no employment. Why? Because their employment was only on cow dung. 3 lakhs. I have published the entire book that we 10,000 crores rupees of years of economy we are just wasting because a person can earn 5 crores rupees a day. Okay? No, this is not the end. The largest producer of the country, of the world, India, is milk. Milk largest producer and exporter, and largest malnutrition is in India. Okay, the data, when the data poisonous milk will go to abroad, what about our export income of milk?
Those industries are all pollution creating.
I don't know, like so.
What you said,
I'm saying that.
The media plays a very important role in defining opinions of the masses. So one goes for a breakfast, one should go for a breakfast and take care of the media. So earlier breakfast which was healthy was replaced with multinational cereals and those kind of stuff which are like processed stuff. So basically the idea is that the media plays a important role in forming opinions.
Okay.
So even teenagers in colleges would rather are convinced about something junk than being something nutritional. And as a part of the campaign will have to be with the media, how to create a media campaign for healthy versus junk. And probably then they would be able to create a small campaign, what goes on the media and what goes behind it.
While I was practicing actually, I saw that many of the people actually, they actually means don't actually, they are unable to actually means categorize or find out that their child is malnourished. For example, kwashiorkor is a very common example. where the child appears to be plummy and edematous, but at the same time he's malnourished actually. So the parents cannot actually distinguish. Secondly, even diseases like beriberi, okay, vitamin B1 deficiency. So that is even found in rich people also, because they don't know what is needed to be taken actually. They take polished cereals, but then that ultimately causes malnutrition. So malnutrition is not just related to only poor people actually.
Absolutely.
So and that's why actually I find that basically the reason behind this is because of the absence of nutritional education in our actually educational system. In the textbook, if you look at the textbooks actually, the secondary textbooks don't have much actually to talk about the nutrition. So that's why actually this nutrition is so much actually prevalent in our society. Even most of educated people are also unaware of this. So I think that if we talk about the policy thing, then this thing has to come up at the policy level in terms of education, etc. Then only we can. So as earlier it has been told that holistic approach. So this nutrition has to come up with education and also with other sectors like skill and all those things, because this is a vicious circle actually.
Sure.
So all these things has to come up.
So I'm Alvin D'Souza working with Arman. Just to begin with, we're talking about malnutrition and we're talking about children. I would like to take the group a step behind, say that let's see where does malnutrition start. It starts at the time of pregnancy. Now when I'm talking about pregnancy, I'm talking about Arman's flagship program, that is Mobile Mitra, M-Mitra, where we are trying to reach out to pregnant mothers right from pregnancy until the child is 1 year old with preventive healthcare information which is sent directly on their mobile phones, timed and targeted as per their pregnancy stage or the age of the child. And these messages include all the do's and don'ts that you have to do during pregnancy and the first year of childhood. It includes nutritional information for the mother. So during pregnancy, if the mother is weak, then the child definitely will be malnourished, right? The messages that we have designed are designed in such a way that we say that if you do not do this, we are not talking about the mother's health, we are talking about the child's health, that your baby will be malnourished. So that is the time when we see that the woman is more likely to take that step and take that action that yes, I have to change my behavior. So this is one strategy that we are using. Secondly, what we have also seen through this particular program, that although I will inform the woman that what she has to do, what are the do's and don'ts during pregnancy and during the first year of childhood, but in the community, as Anaga just said, that you have your neighbors, but at the same time I would say in the family, does the woman have the right to take that decision for herself, right? So you have the mother-in-law, you have the husband, and so on. So with this particular program, what we've also realized is that when we are sending voice calls directly, these are pre-recorded voice calls, automated voice calls as per the registration that the woman has. And when these messages are sent, she puts her phone on a speaker phone, and her mother-in-law is also listening to that. So what impact that it has is, okay, if this woman is saying, then it is really important, and then I have to make that change. In fact, we've had women coming back to hospitals, to public hospitals, like we're working with support from Glenmark Foundation and Sion Hospital, coming back to doctors and asking that, they're telling us to take IFA tablets. What are these? Where are these? The doctor is just saying that, open your file, I have given you the iron and folic acid tablets, it's there with you. It's not something that is there outside, it is there with you, you just need to take it. So, coming back to the point that, preventive healthcare information is also a major
So I
challenge.
have a question.
First, when we are talking of malnutrition, let us understand it is not only undernutrition. It is when we talk of malnutrition, otherwise you just talk of undernutrition. But when India suffers from a triple burden, that is undernutrition, overnutrition or obesity, and the third is anemia. So prevention would lie in maternal health, right from that stage. That is the continuum of care. So you also need to focus on maternal health, because wherever the body mass index, if it is below 70%, you will have those mothers to deliver a baby which is low birth weight, or we call it small for gestation age. है ना, वो कमजोर बच्चा जो पैदा होगा, वो कमजोर बच्चा पैदा हुआ है, but as he grows older, he is at a higher risk of a syndrome which we call as a metabolic syndrome. मतलब उसको 4 बीमारियां हो सकती हैं: hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and obesity. ये सारा जो वो कमजोर बच्चा वो मोटा हो जाएगा और इन बीमारियों से ग्रस्त हो सकता है. मतलब मैं आपको ये बताना चाह रहा हूँ कि ये कुछ कंट्रीज हैं, इंडोनेशिया इज अनदर कंट्री जहाँ पर ये ट्रिपल बर्डन है. तो हमारी मदर्स मैटरनल हेल्थ अगर अच्छी नहीं है तो हमारा वो बच्चा, और 24% ऑफ चिल्ड्रन हु आर बॉर्न दे आर लो बर्थ वेट यानी 2.5 kg से कम. एंड वो साइकिल जो है स्टार्ट इन यूट्रो. तो आपको सोचना है, तो उस दायरे में अगर सोचना है, यू हैव टू लुक एट द एंटायर कॉन्टिन्यूम ऑफ केयर. कहाँ कहाँ आपका इंटरवेंशन हो सकता है. तो एक तो मेल न्यूट्रिशन बाय डेफिनेशन ये है